We live in a digital age where the internet has become the core of our existence. Whether we're doing research for school assignments or keeping up with latest news stories through apps like Twitter, the internet is nearly impossible to escape. Times were much different before we were consumed by our screens. I vividly remember being a little kid and going outside to play with my neighbors for hours on end. I would come back home covered in dirt and bruises, and getting online was the furthest thing from my mind those days. However, with the rise of social media, it seems as though the memories we made live in the past as we accept the new norm. There may be people who don't want to admit it, but the internet is our number one source to staying connected with the world. Take our phones, for example. They are tiny devices that give us access to any kind of information we want with the click of a finger. People have the ability to stay in contact with friends who live across the country, or if you're anything like me, meet their best friend through Tumblr and thank the stars above for bringing you someone you otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to come across. Many of my closest friends have met their significant others through the internet, and now they're in happy, healthy relationships. The internet can do a lot of good for individuals despite the negative connotations that are associated with it. Therefore, I must negate the resolution and say the internet does not destroy relationships. I would like to define the following terms in the proposition. First, the internet, as defined by Techopedia, is a globally connected network system that uses TCP and IP to transmit data via various types of media. It is a network of global exchanges, including private, public, business, academic, and government networks connected by guided, wireless, and fiber optic technologies. Second, I would like to define the word destroy as to ruin the structure, organic existence, or condition of, as defined by Merriam-Webster. Lastly, I would like to define relationships as the way in which two or more people or things are connected, or the state of being connected, as defined by Oxford Dictionary. I made the decision to keep the term relationship broad to include both platonic and romantic relationships in my arguments, seeing as I don't think one is more important than the other. I have two main reasons why I negate the resolution. First, the internet helps keep long-distance relationships alive. Second, the internet allows you to build stronger bonds with people. So my first argument is that the internet helps keep long-distance relationships alive. Communication is the key to maintaining healthy relationships, and the unfortunate truth is sometimes it can be hard to keep up steady communication, more so when life gets in the way of your plans. You can't always live a car ride away from your loved ones. People move around all the time. Kids graduate high school and go off to college in different states and countries. A partner might have to consider a job, promotion in a brand new city. There are so many scenarios that could lead to having a long-distance relationship. That doesn't mean people should instantly give up and cut their friends off just because they're X miles apart. This is where the internet plays a big role in connecting with the people you want to talk to. Social media is the main reason it's easy to keep in touch with people. Apps such as Instagram provide a platform for users to get a glimpse into their friends' lives, even if they can't be there to witness the action themselves. Families are able to have Skype calls with their kids to see what they're doing, receiving updates on their lives, and managing to get some screen time with one another amongst their busy schedules. Online friends can talk through platforms such as Discord that allow them to send free voice calls and text messages. Even those who are in romantic relationships can make things work because there are so many outlets available for them to stay in contact. Now, some might argue online interactions aren't the same as seeing someone in person, but it certainly gets the job done, especially when it's the only means of communication between two people. When you live far away from someone you care about, it can cause a rift in the relationship, regardless of how strong your bond is. You aren't around to see what activities the other is occupied with or the new people they've met, and because of that, distance can create a disconnect. However, if you're dedicated to the relationship and/or friendship, it's very possible to push through the rough patches. As long as you're not willing to let the connection fizzle out, then the amount of effort you put in will definitely speak volumes. And you know what they say, distance makes the heart grow fonder. My second argument is the internet allows you to build stronger bonds with people. It's no secret that dating on the internet is a common occurrence with this generation. In fact, more and more stories about couples who have met online are emerging, and it's safe to say the idea appeals to more of the youth than meeting someone the old-fashioned way. With apps like Tinder and Bumble, you're in complete control of who you choose to give your time and energy to. If you see something on a person's profile that sparks your interest, you already have a conversation starter. Trying to date can be nerve-wracking enough as it is. Putting yourself out there always means you have a chance of getting rejected, but when you're able to bond with someone over shared interests, some of the pressure dissipates. It can also be a great warm up to ease nerves before meeting in a face to face setting, and you'll have a few topics to discuss instead of awkwardly staring at each other, wondering what to say. Similar to meeting potential partners, it can often be difficult to make friends who have the same interests as you in your everyday lives. Hence why a lot of people turn to forming online friendships. There are so many niche communities within the internet that you can find almost anyone who shares your interests. Between musicians to television shows to the most obscure hobbies people don't dare mutter aloud, you can find it all on the web. Being able to connect with those who are like yourself makes you feel as though you're a part of something, and that's a comforting feeling to have. In addition, online friends give you support you might not receive in your normal life. Due to, due to the fact that you're communicating through a screen, sharing personal stories comes more naturally. People are infinitely more kind hearted and willing to listen to you, whereas people in your real life might brush you off or not understand your point of view. The support that comes from online friends is unmatched because they do not judge you based on preconceived notions, physical attributes, or even past histories. They only know you based off of your personality, so it feels more organic and genuine. That being said, I'm sure some might argue, what if they're being fake? Or what if the person you thought you knew was a catfish? Although those are fair points to bring up, coming across someone who is lying about their entire identity is rare. Just like people you meet in the real world, you have to trust your gut instincts and be smart about the situations you get yourself into, because people can lie to your face just as much as they can lie to you online. In conclusion, I stand in firm affirmation of the following resolution: the internet does not destroy relationships. I provided definitions for the most important terms in the proposition, then demonstrated how the internet helps keep long distance relationships alive and allows you to build stronger bonds with people. Some will argue the internet is a toxic place, but billions of people around the globe use it on the daily. Like anything else, there are pros and cons. However, in terms of relationships, the internet can be a wonderful place to form bonds with people that might not have ever stumbled into your path. It's also the best way to keep in contact with those who live further away from you. In this day and age, it's very uncommon to not live part of your life on the internet simply because it has become such a vital step in our routines. We like to check social media to see what other people are up to. We like to brag about the good moments we experience, and we like to stay up to date with all of the latest trends. At the end of the day, relationships only have the power to be destroyed by the two individuals who are in it. If a person is going to let the internet ruin a meaningful relationship they've built, then they might need to take a break from their screens and reconsider giving the virtual world that much control over their life. The stronger your bond is, the less likely it is for external resources to play a role in your relationship's demise. Therefore, the internet does not destroy relationships. Thank you.